Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Vortac, and welcome back to Sky Saga, the third episode in our Sky Saga Let's Play. And today I'm creeping on Mr. Weem.
Hello, hello.
Hey, I'm on your island.
Yes, you are. Welcome to my home, my abode.
Yeah, it already looks like 10 times better than how I have mine right now.
That's part of the fun of this game, I think, is kind of changing up your place.
Yeah, I haven't really done anything. In fact, I don't even have a weapon. You're holding two, and I have this crappy axe, and I don't even seem to have a recipe for a weapon.
So you'll have like a, let's see, let me kind of look at this. Oh yeah, let me. So basically, you just need to use like a forge. I think they start you with a forge, right?
Oh, they do. You know what? They do. And
Oh,
I haven't,
but I think I'm lying to you. Let's see here. Let me look. I'm looking
that would
around.
make sense because I haven't tried using it to craft anything.
Yeah, so the forge lets you make some of the basic kind of elements, and then you'll kind of use those in other things. It's the anvil. This probably looks a little weird, but I have anvils sitting on top of my workbenches. They're kind of set back there a bit. But when you make an anvil, that's what you actually can make weapons from. So,
All right.
so
Well,
hol-
you're
go
you're
ahead.
way more advanced than I am. I just kind of started touring around.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I need to go on more adventures. And I don't have any keystones or anything. But should we go back to my place maybe and grab some? Whoa!
There you go.
Oh my God!
That's nothing crazy. It's just like kind of a base sword, but anyway, that'll get you started.
I can dual wield. I bet too, right? Yes.
Yeah, you can do stuff however you want there.
Nice. Well, I was gonna say, why don't we go back to my place, grab some keystones, and go on like a low-level noob adventure?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let me go downstairs because actually don't have any torches, and I've got basically I put them next to my keystone portal. I kind of made these two chests, and they've got elements. It's kind of a reminder to me, like, hey, grab food. Hey, grab torches and arrows. So let me just make sure I've got a number of those because for some reason, because I was moving everything upstairs in the last episode I recorded. So anyway, I put everything away, but now we're good.
All
So
right.
you want to jump back to your home, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's pretty straightforward. You actually can just hit escape and click home,
Oh,
and
I was gonna
then
say let's like fast forward, but okay.
yeah, you can just kind of jump there, and then I can either go to my airship or I can go into my friends list and jump to your place. So I will meet you over there shortly.
You know what makes me sad about this game?
What's that?
I really wish it would force you to use the airship instead of letting you just cheatily teleport to your friends.
Yeah.
And I also want to drive the airship, but that's another story for another day.
So let me tell you something that I don't know. Maybe it'll make you feel a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe not. But you can take your whole island here and you can break like everything down. The only thing you can't move is like your keystone portal itself. But everything else can be moved and all the blocks can be broken down. One of the things I really want to do, just because I heard somebody else mention it, is I want to kind of break my island down and build it as like a big airship. And so
Oh.
like you can do that. You can make this be like a big boat, and then basically from there, you could have the airship. And I like the idea of the airship having different docks, like piers, and you can make multiple of your actual airships, the small ones, and just have one on each of those, just for fun. I think you can have multiple. Now that I think about it, which one would you teleport to? But it is in the crafting menu for you to make.
Wow.
So, anyway, just seems like that's one of the ideas I've got. I might do something like that.
That's crazy. Well, I'm at my forge, and I'm not seeing any, I love that idea. Damn it. I'm gonna have to think of something else to, like, turn mine into if I go that far.
I'm a lazy man. I will probably my place will probably never be an airship, so
So I'm not finding a recipe for swords. I'm finding a recipe for like other things such as wooden rods and stone chunks. And,
yeah. So I
and
think I
things of
said
that
I think I
nature.
said forge, but then that's why I showed you the anvil. You actually do that in the anvil. I was wrong.
Okay.
Do you have an anvil or?
No.
Okay. And sorry, I just got to your home. I actually teleported to Torkar's zone, and I was like, what's he doing on Vortex Island? Huh. And then I was like, wait a second, I'm on the wrong island.
Whoops.
He's waving at me, "Hey, Weem," and I'm like, "Why is he here?"
So, just for clarification, Weem is not recording on his end, which is fine. But if and when Weem decides to record, I probably won't be if we continue to collab in Sky Saga. We'll just be doing different things on our separate channels, and we're not doing any dual recording nonsense. So if you're like, oh, I want to see Weem's side, you're just going to have to use your imagination.
Yeah, I have. We're kind of running things simultaneously, right? You've recorded a couple episodes, and I've got 2 episodes recorded as well. So they're kind of like our own separate thing. We just thought this seemed like it might be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. So here's where I'm at. I can make yet another light keystone, like light green keystone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only recipe I have. I seem to be having trouble getting recipes.
Well, and it's early, so you're going to get more. What's going to happen is there's a point, I forgot when it is, where it's just part of like, I think it's part of a leveling thing or something, and it just says, here's the recipe for the medium and the dark, and then you're good at that point. And you'll hit that point probably pretty soon.
So, do you think I should just make another light green keystone and we'll just head in there?
Yeah, we could do that.
Because all that was in there was that crystal stuff. Is it always the same?
No, it basically, whenever you combine those to make like a keystone for the portal, when it's unnamed and it just says like light green, it's going to randomly give you a zone to go into that's going to be green. It'll be forest. It'll be a forest biome. But they have a number of those pre-made, and you're randomly shuffled one, essentially.
Huh.
So if you make that light green keystone and throw that in, we're going to get a forest biome, but it's going to have its own specific name and layout and everything, so...
Okay.
They'll have different things in it. For example, I just did a desert run, and I was hoping to find some sunsteel, they call it, and I actually found some down in a cave, and so I just sat there mining it. Even though I beat the boss, I was like, oh, let me grab a bunch of this because I want to make some gold-looking like armor and weapons.
Well, in that case, let's just jump in this noob zone.
Sure thing.
So the leveling system is the green bar at the bottom right. That's what I've kind of concluded.
Yeah, so that's one element. So what happens is you get XP for depending on things you do. So if you're building and digging and things like that, the bar may change down there to be blue because there's basically what's called Settler's Experience, which is blue. There's Explorer's Experience, which is green. And then there's Gladiator Experience, which is red. The Gladiator stuff's not in yet. So you're either going to get blue or green, depending on what you're doing. So when you're digging and breaking blocks, you'll get XP. You know, that's kind of how that goes. And those will level up, and you're going to get rewards in the mail as you level and everything. Some of it will be recipes, you know, things like that.
All right. I'm level 0.
Yeah. So this probably looks different than what you did before. I'm assuming it hopefully gave you randomly a different one this time.
Yes. This
cool.
is different. This looks important.
Yeah. I haven't seen this zone at all with this castle.
Whoa. There's a lot of guys in here.
Indeed. Smash them.
I will. Oh my gosh. I love the hunters, and they're a lot more realistic than, say, Minecraft skeletons that still manage to hurt you even if you're too close.
Yeah.
These hunters need to get range on you, so you run up to them and you hit them, and they're like, no, and they just die.
Yeah. So one of the things I really like too, and I don't know if this is intentional, I don't know if they did the AI this way, but I've had times where a fighter guy has kind of run up to me like he's going to attack me, and he suddenly is backing away from me really quick, and I noticed that he's got a ranged guy behind him firing on me, so it's like he's drawing me into this guy's fire. I'm like, no, don't pull me towards this guy. Wow. It's kind of a cool behavior, but I've seen it a few times now where they've said a melee guy is kind of drawn me towards a ranged guy. He's backed up until we've got there, and then he starts fighting me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Maybe I didn't notice that. I'm getting all these gold things.
Yeah, that's money. They're called knots or whatever, but that's kind of the currency of the game.
Huh. I got a pelt of some kind, I suppose.
Uh-huh. From the wolf. Now, this zone is actually pretty small because we did like a light green. So I'm going to step outside. Yeah, this is kind of a... Oh, there is another building out here as well in the back.
Oh, good. All right.
But yeah, they also get larger based on the difficulty. So if you did a medium, it's like it's pretty big actually.
Logging camp. We can kill some lumberjack bandits.
Mm-hmm. And these guys will respawn, by the way. So if we're out here a little bit and then we go back inside the castle, there'll be guys in there again.
crap.
It's fine. They're easy.
I'm gonna get some cotton. Do we need cotton for anything right now?
Cotton's good. I haven't used it yet, but I am hanging on to it because I think you can like use that to craft some of the fabrics, which I haven't really got into yet. Up here, you actually have, for example, this is a workbench, but you'll notice you can't even use it or move it. You'll see these kinds of things in the zone sometimes where you're like, hey, I want a workbench, but you can't take it. But, for example, these rails, you might break these up because you're going to get the iron rods or whatever. In some cases, sometimes you'll get wood. It just kind of depends. But those rods are nice. They come in handy in crafting.
Hell yeah.
Hooah.
So can you make carts and ride around to them?
I don't think so right now, no. Like I said, the rods are good for crafting, like, some armors and some weapons. The game has a lot of decoration items, but you have to get the recipes for them so that you could, like, build, things for your house. For example, the most recent one I found was I got a recipe for a bookshelf. So I was like, okay, that's cool. You can just kind of make some bookshelves in your place. They have a lot of that stuff, but it's so early right now. I'm really excited for the stuff that they'll be adding.
Yeah. People get like really mad at me when I compare anything to Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy in this case, and one of the biggest things I had a problem with in Minecraft was the fact there wasn't enough decorations early on.
Yeah.
And there still really aren't a whole lot of decorations. But that was a huge problem for me. Like, it's a building game, and there's nothing to decorate your place with.
Yeah, and I think the idea is it's really cool. Like when you're in the social hub and you're walking around, there's an inn I went into, and I was like, man, I want to make a place that looks kind of like this. I love the decorations. It looks really good. There's tons of different things, and those are probably all set up, or they will be, if they're not. But that's kind of the idea. They have merchants. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I noticed the thing they said, there's weekend merchants. So in the social hub, there's going to be merchants there that are only there on the weekend. So I kind of want to see what that's all about.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I love the MMO aspect of this game that I'm taking for granted completely because I'm just so used to these games being like, oh, go on an adventure, craft something, oh, you did it. Like,
yeah. Yeah, what I found is really fun is the idea of basically going on an adventure. I want to go into these zones and I want to explore them. What's here, and it's nice. It's nice that it is constrained because you have a sense. You accomplish something. I went in, I beat the boss. I found some really cool metal that I really want to work on this new set of armor, and so I want to get that. And what's really fun is when you're actually crafting armor, for example, it'll say you need 10 metal weights, for example. And you could put in any metal weight you want. It could be sun steel, it could be the frost steel, and when you put it in, it shows you how it's going to change the appearance of that armor. So you can say like, oh, that's blue, that looks really cool. Or sometimes some things require like 3 different types of things, and the way you mix and match them will change the appearance. Like I had a workbench I was going to make, and when I looked at the bolts, I was like, oh, let me throw green bolts in here, and you could see that the bolts on the ends were green. And when I changed them to blue, they were blue. So wow. I like that you mix and match things, and you're like, oh, I'm going for this cool look,
That's awesome.
And it breaks down into items. Like I made a purple chest. I have one purple chest, and then a bunch of white and brown ones. But I mean, if I had red, like a redwood, I could make my chest be red and my workbenches be red.
I did not know that. Not that I've gotten into crafting yet, but
yeah.
My XP is going up so slow.
Mm-hmm.
What level are you?
On the green right now for the Explorer, I'm 5.
Wow. Yeah, it's just taking... It's barely moved since we got here.
Yeah, but you get more... Like, the thing is you'll explore these, you'll be digging, and you'll be getting XP, you won't even know it. You know what I mean? You'll be mining in a cave, trying to get some, like, new ore and everything, and you'll level up and be like, oh, I didn't even, like, think about that, because I was just mining. So...
All right. I'm like, if we went into one of your zones, it'd probably be, suited for a level 5 person. Would that level me up faster, I wonder?
Well, I don't think it's based like that. Basically, I could make a medium keystone, for example, so we could go in and be, bigger difficulty. But I don't think they actually tone it based on like my level. I think right now, the way the armor and everything is, it doesn't seem to be like a huge difference. There doesn't seem to be a massive disparity there. So, I'm not coming in here and like one-shotting the things that you're, having to hit like 10 times or whatever.
Okay.
So it's not a massive difference. The armor that you see me in right now, the green, is made from Verdonite, which comes from the forest biome. There could be Verdonite here in caves here. You know what I mean? So actually, there's a cave right here. Let's see if we can find some Verdonite.
All right.
So right here, this metal I'm looking at, right, it's kind of in front of me here. This is the sky iron. So that's kind of the standard metal. But as far as I know, I don't think it's any better than what I'm wearing right now. It just happens to be kind of a standard, gray metal versus green.
So you're just in like basically green iron armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you actually like look at the details on an item, it'll say like stats, but it actually won't show any stats. None are visible. And I'm imagining that's going to come later. So right now you can't really tell. Like, okay, is my armor worth 20 value to your 10? We don't know that. We don't know that yet.
So maybe they haven't added that yet?
It's entirely possible that all of this stuff is equal, and it's just an appearance thing for now.
Well, that's kind of cool. It makes adventuring easy. Like, I'm not scared to go into your adventures now.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'd be a big deal. And we could go into a medium one. It'd be a much bigger biome, and check that out. And then, so down here below you, actually, as you kind of dig your way down, there's some of this keystone stuff here.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and these are green, so these would be, what would get you into a forest.
A regular forest and not a light green one?
So the way it works is that 5 of these, when you merge 5 together, it makes a light one. A medium one is 9 of them. You just don't have the recipe for that yet.
Oh.
And then what happens is for the hard, which is kind of the third difficulty, you need 12 of whatever you want, and then 3 dark hearts. And you get hearts from bosses, but you only get bosses from medium difficulty and above.
Jeez. Okay.
That probably sounds more complicated than it is. Maybe it doesn't sound that complicated. I don't know, but it's not bad. It's pretty straightforward.
It makes it feel like it's impossible to get any recipes.
Yeah, it depends on what recipes I guess you're talking about. Like for sure you're gonna get the recipes for the medium and the dark. Like that's coming. Like you'll get that maybe right when you hit your first level or something. The other stuff is randomized, so it's a little hard to know. Like I said, I got a bookcase. I was like, what? Okay. And then I also got I've got different armor recipes too. A lot of that stuff drops from like the bosses. You kill a boss, they'll drop a recipe or 2. Maybe it's only ever 1, but I've only killed a couple bosses at this point on the medium difficulties. I haven't done a hard difficulty yet.
Huh. All right.
Oh, there's a big bear down here.
Bear?
Yeah.
Where?
I'm probably to your right, based on the direction I see your purple icon going. Look for your... There we go. Can you see me up here? Hopping around.
Yes.
Hopping around like a madman.
Ugh.
Let's see. I'm going to actually throw a combination of torch and scimitar. There we go. Down to the left.
Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy.
So he's got the red, so he's a bit tough. And then the bosses actually are red. They have that skull, but then there's like a crown underneath the skull.
Okay. How much XP are you worth? Ow.
Sweet.
Alright, actually, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, I hit him like 2 times or whatever. I pretty much stayed back, so it's mostly you there. It's not too bad. Let's take a peek.
Give me your keystones.
Yeah, we got some keystone stuff here. Now, I was actually initially worried because one of the quests that I got or saw in the social hub said, turn in 9 or 10 or something like keystone, and I was like, why would I do that? I really don't have enough of these. But once I started exploring a bit through some of these, I was like, oh, wow, they're kind of everywhere, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I was worried because I had logged out of the game before entering the portal originally, and I had to get 5 more keystones to make another portal. I'm like, oh my god, this is like all I have.
You probably have a ton in your base, though. Did you mine those out?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I only had the ones in my base.
Yeah.
And I was mining them out. I'm like, I'm going to run out because I keep screwing up.
Really big. One of the cool things I noticed, somebody had a video up where basically they were working on a community project. Somebody opened up their island, basically, friends, they would add them and then allow them to do whatever they wanted there. And they were setting up kind kind of mini games. So they have what's called like sheep ball, where you can basically, when you use shears against a sheep, it kind of moves the sheep forward. So they were going to do 2 versus 2, and you try to push the sheep into the opposing team's goal, for example.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they had a sheep bowl like coliseum set up on one side. They had a jump puzzle like in another one. They had like all these different things. And apparently the developers have said, according to what this guy was saying anyway, that they're looking for those kinds of things as game modes, and then they're going to incorporate those into the game and everything. So you can like go and say, oh, let's go play some sheep ball. And that would be like its own little instance thing you could go into with friends and stuff.
That would be awesome. I love stuff like that. Halo actually did a lot of that when people were creating different game modes using the very limited editing I think Halo 2 had. This whole like I forgot what it was called now, but like it was like a zombie game or a vampire. I don't know what it was. Like if you had, there were Spartans versus aliens, and it always started out with one alien who had a sword, and if he got you, you had to switch teams and wield a sword only.
Gotcha.
And eventually, either the time would run out and the survivors would win, or the aliens would win by killing everyone.
Yeah.
And that became a whole game mode. Like, they added it legitimately.
So, by the way, I just noticed something. Where are you at?
We're lost?
No. So, look straight up, like above me. You should see a question mark icon moving around up there.
Yes.
So, one thing to note, when you come into these instances, you were served up this instance. It says in the top right, Dark Grove Ruins. Other players can be served into that instance as well. So, that's another player up there kind of running around. And from what I could be, this could be wrong. This information could be wrong. I remember reading it somewhere. It said something like the instances wouldn't allow more than like 6 players or something, or maybe 8. I can't remember. But anyway, that can happen. I think probably 50% of the time so far, I've had no one but me, or me or like, Kenneth or something in there. But
can we kill him?
No, it's not PvP. So.